The fundamental shift occurs after the Civil War, when a group of individuals, mostly academics, those pesky academics, right, decide they wanted to see a new form of government. They go and study in other countries, Germany, France, and they come back and they start a new movement called the Progressive Movement. Very quickly, here's the distinction between those two arguments, and you will start to see this is the debate we are having today. The American founders talked about liberty. That's the word they preferred to use, liberty. It's an old Roman word. They talked about self-government. They talked about self-government, governing your own character and practicing through self-government as a practice. It was all about what? Pursuing happiness and achieving happiness not through government but through civil society. For modern progressivism, it's about freedom, which is a liberation from that argument. It's a liberation to do other things you wanted to do, and it's to be achieved by government. Because the rights, which they believe are evolving and changing over time, are to be secured by government. And when it comes to government itself, the Founding Fathers and understood as a whole argued about constitutionalism. It's to be limited. It's to be limited especially by its enumeration on parchment, but even more so, it's to be limited because of the structural organization of the Constitution itself. Checks and balances, separation of powers, federalism, representation, all the various structural filters, the things we forget about or we remember so well that we don't take them seriously anymore, in the same way we make the assumptions that Levi, Preston could not. We forget about those basic things. For progressivism and for modern liberalism, the government and the Constitution must be evolving and living and growing. It must adapt to all things. There are no limits, according to this argument, because there's no limit to progress, and everything must be done scientifically. What they introduced was a new argument that government was about administration. It was about technical issues. So, something like Obamacare or Dodd-Frank is a perfect representation of that modern argument. The politics have been settled, we hear. We have to read the legislation and see what's in it. That was a serious statement. Because the real administration of that thing, Dodd-Frank, Obamacare, you name it, everything has to be comprehensive nowadays. The true administration, which is to say the true lawmaking, will not be done by the legislature. It will be done by the administration, the executive branch, the bureaucrats, the experts. That is the essence of modern politics. Everything else, that's all about progress, and if you're against that, you're a reactionary. You're backwards thinking. The left's great fatal conceit, which will destroy them, is a utopianism about nature and being able to change man, but also about scientific expertise. And we see it collapsing before our eyes.